Hello everybody, I'm here with David Weinberger, and he just talked about very interesting topics about reputational democracy. And I would like to know, what is this? What is a reputation democracy?
Well, first of all, it's a term that I took from Simon Willis at Cisco, reputational democracy, and it's sort of a play on representational democracy, of course. And the idea is that at some point you can assume, I hope, that we'll be using social networking tools for citizens to discuss issues of policy and so forth. And that one of the questions immediately will be, well, how do you scale up a system like that? Because there could be millions and millions of people involved. And it's great to be able to talk with other citizens, but you'd also ideally like some of the discussions and some of the questions to filter up, and so that the government itself can participate. So I'm making all this up, but that seems to me to be something that would be very desirable. And also, since I'm making things up, one of the ways that big sites scale conversations, that is, enable conversations to filter up, is they use reputation systems of various types. That works pretty well, apparently, for filtering conversations, finding ones that are worthwhile. So if that's what happens, then you have a situation in which you have a citizen social network, people are talking, questions arise, conversations arise, they get filtered up on the basis of reputation, and so somebody who make up some pseudonym, Sky Queen 27. Turns out she's the one who is, it's her conversation that filters up. And so somebody from the government starts participating, and suddenly Sky Queen, whatever, is talking with this government official and representing the conversation. All of this is easy to imagine, like something like this happening.
So actually every citizen could take part in decision making as well? Or?
Yes, but yes, they would all take part in the decision making and in the conversations that extend the government's ideas, but they can't all take part directly in talks with the government, because we have 300 million citizens in the U.S. and you just can't have all of them talking at the same time to somebody, to a government official from the Department of the Environment or whatever. But maybe this person, Snow Queen, Sky Queen, she's the one who is and talking to the government, because that's how the reputation system has elevated her. So here we have a reputational democracy. We have this new layer of democracy, somebody who's not elected, the reputation system put her in place, but there are no elections, and she's in a position of some power. If she does a good job representing the conversation, she could change policy. If she does a bad job. So this is not an argument for or against it, but there's a certain inevitability to this type of thing happening, I think. We have now, and we will have, in addition to representational, we'll have a reputational democracy as well. And this raises, I think, very interesting questions about what happens when technology, which is being produced just by software people, becomes a key part of a democracy that's open to all people.
And if they think about Barack Obama and his campaign and what he did with Change.gov, what is the most fascinating area or point you recognized in his work so far?
There are lots of little pieces that are really interesting. There are many that don't go far enough because politics makes people timid and you want to go slowly. Oh, that's fine. I think, to me, the two most interesting things are, first of all, the fact that the campaign and the administration seems to be willing to experiment, to try things out. So Change.gov went up, the site that went up right after the election for the transition period, and it wasn't all that good, but it's been getting better. So they're trying little things, they're improving slowly, which is a very webby way of doing things, not at all a governmental way of doing things. So the fact that they're willing to do that, to me, is one of the most interesting things. The second is some of the appointments for the people who are in charge of the transition to power, with very influential positions. Some of those appointments have been spectacularly good. People who, in the case of the Internet and in the U.S., the Federal Communications Commission, these are people who are fully internet not telecommunications industry people. They come out of the internet. They live it. They breathe it. They love the open internet. And the fact that the Obama team was willing to put those two people in charge of the transition for the FCC is just phenomenally good news. It's just wonderful news, not just because they're likely to do a very good job helping out, but because of the nature of their positions and of their temperament. They're not ideologues. They're very open to discussion and conversation. So I find that extremely encouraging.
Great. So it was great talking to you. Thank you very much, and we'll see what's going to be next with the Citizen Social Network, probably.
I look forward to seeing what happens.
Okay.
Thanks.
Great. Thanks.